Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we are going to look at how to insert data into MySQL database using PHP. In our previous video we learned how to create a database name and also create tables. So we created database name tutorials and also we created these two tables, users and also products. So in this video we are going to learn how to insert data or any record into our users table. So we go back to our code, delete the sample. So in here we will create another file, we name it index.php. Okay, so to be able to insert data or any record into a database, first you need to have an HTML form for your user input. So we will create a sample doc type HTML tags where we can create our form. So in here I'll put this in section and then bring in my form. Okay, so we have a form method which will be a post method. So we are inserting into the database. So we use a method post and also we bring in our HTML input tag where you have your email. Then have your name attributes to be email. Anytime you want to make a post, make sure you have this name attributes. And this name attributes is where allows us to pick the user input from the input and push it into the database table. So name here as email, then have another input field which will be, let's make it password. To those who don't know anything, who are beginner, who don't understand these codes, should DM me. I'll make a tutorial on the HTML tutorials for them. We have password, now have my button type should always be submit. Whenever you are submitting the data to the database, you have your name attribute here. You can give it submit or any name you wish. Let me name the button to be submit, or let me make it send data. Alright, so we have our form created. So we create another PHP file, we name it insert.php. This file will handle our post request. So create your PHP. So we will use PHP functions. We use the insert function in PHP to handle the form submits. This. So we say if let me have this is set as a PHP function. We use the $_post function. Then we define the button attribute which is submit. The submit here. Now we can write our code here. So we will now create variables for the input fields where you can handle the name attribute of each input. So for the attribute name email, we would have to create a variable which will handle that input field. So use MySQL load escape function to escape special characters. So we'll escape string, and this function takes two parameters, the connection and also the post method. So we have a email, and we handle the password to as this. We'll escape string, take the connection, $_ post, which will take okay. So now that we have this defined, now that we have this big we've taken this from the input fields, then we will now try and then write the SQL query to handle the post request. So we have defined another variable for the query, insert into users table, check the table is users, so you put it here, users. So the database fields, the table fields we want to handle the email and the password. These are automatic, it will automatically update. But what you want now is the email and the password, so you put in email, password here, and have values, and our values will be the definition you made here, email, put them here, put it here, and also have password, terminate it. Now you write the function that will push the record into the database. So this also take the connection and also the SQL defined parameter. So now let's handle the connection error. So you say check errors, the comments. Alright, so now we have write our if statement here. If $_query, then you should be able to insert or display, should be able to display, if it is correct, it should be able to display some information for us. Data inserted, else should tell us there is an error. Error occurred. Now, so we need to have this connection present. Check our database, you could see that we had this connection here. How you define this connection, that's what you bring in inside the parameters. So you now use the require function to include the DB, the database file, inside our PHP inside our PHP query statement. So we've now added it here, and so we'll check if our code is correct by trying the code. So we'll go to our browser. So this is our form, the form we created. So let's try to see if, oh no, there's one thing we need to do. Go back to the HTML, and now inside the action, put the file here, the insert.php. So once you click on the submit, it will send us to this, and now it executes the code inside the insert.php. Now let's check our code. Admin at gmail.com. Let's have this password. Submit. Okay, great. So data is submitted successfully inside our database. So now when we check our insert, you will see that we have the record here. So basically this is how to insert the data into the database. First you have to have an HTML form that will handle the user information requests. Then make sure you have your name attributes. You set the form method to post. Then you create a PHP file for handling the post request, where you have to define your parameters for the input fields, and you pick them and then insert them into the database table. After which you can check for error connection. If successful, then it should display errors. It should display an error for us. Okay, thank you. In our next video we will look at how to retrieve this data from the database, how to retrieve this and display it inside our page. Thank you.